Hey, it's Jamie from The Route. We're going to talk about what do you forget in a game and some ideas I've had to try and help me not forget stuff in a game. So this is Don't Forget Stuff in a Game with The Route. Right, I guess we've all done this. Everyone has done this. You've built a list. You're super happy with it. You're like, yeah, it's going to do good. It's going to kick some ass. You've painted it. You've brought it to the table. You've had a game. You've lost. Maybe you haven't lost. It just didn't go the way you thought it would go. And you get home, or you kind of finish the game, or whatever it is you do, and you suddenly go, oh shit, I had this, or I'd paid for that, or I'd rolled this. Warlord traits are a classic. You know, people roll warlord traits at the beginning, and they're like, oh yeah, I've got zealot. And you get to the end, you're like, oh, god damn it, I didn't use zealot. So how do you go about not forgetting? And also maybe, and not just not forgetting, also remembering stuff from perhaps a previous game is another classic one. Or, you know, some people I've played with, remembering a rule from a previous rule system is another classic, but that's a different one altogether. So anyway, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about recent experience of where both me and the guy I was playing forgot some stuff of which was actually rules of the rules of the mission. I had a really fun game. It doesn't matter that we forgot those rules. If we'd remembered them, would the game turn out differently? It probably would have been different for both of us. But it's still Friday. I'm still drinking wine. Anyway, I thought I'd talk about it. So, start off with classic things to forget. And I guess, you know, if you play a lot, and I don't necessarily say I play a lot, you know, I'm trying to play a lot more this year because I want to try and make an effort to play more this year. I want to try and make an effort to play more tournaments this year. And I don't want to play 40k tournaments. I love playing 40k with my friends. It's fun. Everyone I play with, for the most part, doesn't do spammy lists. And we have fun, and that's cool. You know, that's good. And if you go into tournaments playing 40k and you're doing spammy lists, that's your thing. That's cool too. You know, it's not for me. It does seem that the 40k stuff, everyone does it, so it's kind of like, you know, you're playing in the field that you've chosen to play in, and that's fine. It's not for me. I think 30k is different, and you know, I guess I'll see this year, and as I go through these tournaments, I'll probably do little roundups of how I felt they went. And so far, I've only played in one at Warhammer World, where myself and Mike played in a doubles, and we had a lot of fun. And I'd say it was no one played spammy lists. A couple of people rock Titans, but we didn't blow one up. We did blow one up another thing, but it was really good fun, and their opponents were really cool about it. And it was that was probably the most fun game I've ever had, actually, or certainly up there as a double. It was we gave it our top marks for the thing, but it's pretty good list. Anyway, good. It was a good game. Sorry, it was a good tournament, enjoyable. People were there for what we were there for, which made it enjoyable. So, you know, with the heresy stuff, what I find is, you know, I like to try and build lists, and I'm trying to remember stuff, and I'm learning with the word bearers at the moment. I played Iron Hands for years, so I kind of know their stuff mostly off by heart. I don't know this stuff, so it's learning and learning and learning. Or you use a new unit, and you're learning again. So, you know, what has happened recently? Well, I guess there's a couple of examples. There's one example is you play a unit that you've never used before. You don't know the rules, you forget to check, and you play it wrong. And let's talk about that first. So, at that tournament, pre-said tournament, me and Mike played against some Sicaran, is it the Vindicate Sicaran? The Sicaran with the laser destroyer, the big laser destroyer on the front. Anyway, we played some of them, and we came away and we were like, holy shit, son, they're good. So we were like, oh, we're going to buy them. So we actually both went and bought one each. And I was like, yep, I'm sticking that in my word bearers. And he's like, yep, I'm sticking one of them in my Thousand Suns, which he was getting ready for our next campaign. And we built one, and there you go. So he bought one, and we were playing he was doing me a solid recently and was giving me a kind of test game for my word bearer, so I could try out a list. He brought this Sakaran thing, and I think I've got this right, but anyway, he was shooting it one shot, and afterwards we kind of looked at the rules, and it's 2 shots. And we were like, shit, And I'm sure it is 2 shots. You might be going, no, it's not, it's 1 shot. And if that is the case, whatever. But as we remember it, that's how it went down. And, we basically were like, that sucks. You did yourself out of a couple of shots there. And I ended up winning the game. And had he used more shots, he probably would have done better, obviously, because it's quite a dicky thing. So there's a case of you start a new thing, you forget it. I had a similar thing with the Galvorback. One, didn't realise they could deep strike because I hadn't registered that rule. Even in their stat line. So stuff like that you forget. You think you know it, but you forget. So there's one thing. Another thing which happened to me recently, which is when I was playing Will down at the Uxbridge Club, was we played a mission from, as I said in the previous vid, it was from Greg Dan's list pack that he's doing for his tournament that he's running in London, and which is in May, I think, and it was cool. But we rolled off, we picked the mission, Will read out the rules, all made sense. I'm like, yeah, you get, okay, you've got to get over turn 2, you start scoring points per turn, you get points for every troops choice scoring unit you've got in the opponent's half. And then there was another part to the rule, which was every troops choice that dies goes into ongoing reserves, and you can bring them back on. So the idea is you just throw in troops, just keep going, and we're like, all right, cool. And we were just super excited, and we just got to meet each other, and we both had cool painted armies, and we were just like, this is gonna be good, we'll have good fun. Anyway, we didn't do the rule. We didn't use the bring stuff back on rule. And in the end, it was a really, really good game. He tabled me at the end. I was up on points, and I had 1 man left, and I tried to charge his unit, see if I could hide in combat, and he got killed in Overwatch. It was really cinematic. It was really cool. And like I say, I wouldn't go back and change it because it was a good game, but this is a classic example of where I'd forgot that rule. He'd also forgot that rule, and we just weren't using that. We just didn't do it. And I had an assault squad, which were troops choice that could have come back on. I had an Ashen Circle squad, who with Zardu were a troops choice, so they could come back on. So I had 2 squads with jump packs that could have come back on, which I also had my vets with a Nuncio Vox, so I could have deep struck them right next to those guys, and they could have come back on, which meant, I could have had more units to try and gain points, and could have tried to sort of tactically play out that thing a bit differently. Now, like I said, I'm not moaning. I wouldn't change the result of that game because it was an awesome game. I had a lot of fun, but it was an example of where I kind of myself, I look back and go, I was so swept up in the kind of excitement of starting the game that I didn't think about the rules. And if I'm going to go and play tournaments, I'm going to have fun, but I want a competitive game as well. I don't want to go up against 57 quad mortars or anything bullshit like that, but I want the games to be fun, but I want them to be competitive. I like to compete. I do like to win. It's good when you win. It's not win at all costs though, but I like to play the rules, and it's when I get to the rules and I get them wrong, or I do the mission wrong, that frustrates me. I get frustrated with myself. So after that, I started to reflect a bit and think, okay, well, it's on me. I should have remembered the rules. He had 2 tac squads that got knocked out. They could have come back on. It would have been it would have been a different game at the end. So I was like, right, what can I do in the future to be better educated and to remember the rules whilst I'm playing the game? So where I've come to is I've been building out my lists. I build all my lists in Microsoft Excel because through work I know how to use it a little bit, and I trust myself typing in the formulas and the costings more than I trust online stuff, because I've seen lists people have built on those online stuff, and then I've kind of gone through the book and they're out. They're just out, and they're out sometimes down, sometimes up. One time me and Mike, a friend of ours, he did a list there, and it was 50 points out. And like 50 points, he had 50 points more than us. And that's a lot. So anyway, I don't use them, blah blah blah, build my name. But what I've done for this tournament stuff is I've built them out in a layout, because obviously you want to give your opponent your list so they can see what you've got, which I think is a good thing to do. But what I've done is I've designed the sheet, so I've got an area for notes. So I will give my opponent the sheet, and then I will have a print out of that as well, and I can write down my opponent's name, so I know their name through the thing, which I think is it's polite. That's important. I also have my name on there, so they can remember my name as well, so they don't have to worry about it. So I'm doing that. The other thing is there's a space there to say what mission we're playing. So a lot of these tournaments, each mission has a name, or you're using one out of a book. So, okay, we roll it up, or however the mission works, we're like, okay, we're playing this mission. So now I've got a record of that game as well, so I can look back and go, I remember playing Steve, and we played this mission together. And that's for me, that's just a nice little reminder of the game, I guess. So then I can write the mission down. But then what I've got is I've got space to write the rules for that mission, which I think is a reference point that will always be in front of me. And any of those key things, anything that's key, that's unusual in a mission, like you can bring troops back into ongoing reserves, I will just write that down. It will be there, big, bold, capital letters. Don't forget this. So there's that. But also next to all of my units, I've got notes where and I'll put this in the thing, is like special rules that I know I'll forget. I'll put them in there as well. So next to my Gal Vorback, I'll have, Rending, and I'll probably list out their quick rules. So rage, all that kind of stuff. I can just pop all those in there. Because I use Dark Channeling, which is rolled for per game, I can roll that up and write that down next to the unit as well. That I've got. So I'm like, oh, okay, I've got Zealot on that unit, mustn't forget, and I've done it in a way so I can do that. So that's really helpful. And then I've got like a tally box at the end, so that I can use that to record how well we did, or how the game went, and it gives me a record I can take away with me, which is kind of cool. It gives me a record that I can then transfer to the tournament record, which is quite useful as well. So it's just a good way of keeping track of things and trying not to forget stuff, because you get caught up in it. You think, oh yeah, I remember. Like I did it at this thing. I was like throwing a Fellblade, and the guy's like, "Is that Twin Links?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't think it's Twin Link, mate. Oh, it'd be too tough." And he was like, "I think it is." And I was like, "Nah, don't worry, it's not Twin Link." Anyway, it was Twin Linked. I kept missing him. So, that was me trying to be super kind of like, oh no, this can't be Twin Linked. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you dickhead, that's the rules. You just totally done yourself out of it. So I will write down the rules of units I don't use very often, so that I don't forget them, because that sucks. So anyway, there's my thing. That's what I've done. How I've started to build my list. That's my top tip, I guess. I hope you found it useful. I'll tell you what I'll probably do is I'll take some photos, or I'll do some images of the layout, and I'll stick them up so you can see. And if people want it, let me know. I'll email it you if you want to copy it. It'll have my list on it, but at least you can maybe use it as a template to build your own. But I think it's a good idea. I think it records things. It records what you do, and hopefully it will help stop you forgetting those little things that you go away and you suddenly like, crap, I just wish I'd remembered that. But anyway, let me know if it's interesting to you. Let me know if you want to hear it. Let me know what you do. Let me know if you forget. I'm down to hear it. Be cool to hear what you think. Other than that, take it easy. I'm going to keep drinking my wine and cleaning this airbrush. All right, peace.